6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, fuck it, I'm going in.
What's up, guys? So if you guys follow me at all on Instagram, you will know that I got a few goodies in the mail from AF1 Racing. I am going to show you one thing I got, and it is pretty dope as far as I'm concerned. Some of you guys that have Aprilias know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about, but these are the Rng Tank Sliders, because the way the Aprilia is designed, the tank kind of flares out. Like if you take a look here, you can see how it flares out. Well, those are pretty much the first things that get hit when it falls, is like right in here, right? One of the first things. Now these tanks are like $2,500 Canadian to replace, so fuck that noise. But I'm gonna keep the swearing to minimum. My apologies. But yeah, these are the Rng Tank Sliders. They are the ones, there's two different styles. There's one style that kind of goes up, but it actually covers part of the Aprilia Racing here. I got the newly designed ones, I guess you could say. They've still been out for a little while here. But these are basically them. I'm going to try and do this as quick as possible because it is getting a little dark. But these are basically them. So you can kind of see how it dips down. It says Rng Racing carbon fiber. So this, when it does fall, or if it does fall or anything like that, will stop my tank from getting damaged. So I'm pretty excited. I seen a bunch of people had these, and at first I was like, you know what? And then I dropped my bike, and guess what? Luckily I never had no damage, but what if? So now I'm covering my ass. So you can see those go on there just like that. And you can still see the Aprilia Racing, they just go in the corner. Honestly, they're really easy to install. I just have to basically clean this with some alcohol wipes, both corners, clean the insides with alcohol wipes, and then they gave, included in this package, I forget how much I paid for these. I want to say it was like $160 Canadian, $150 Canadian for these Rng Racing Tank Sliders. They do also make tail sliders for the back because the tail does actually stick out a little bit. But they give you this aquarium sealant or whatever to put all on the inside of this, and then you put it on. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these and prep this up good. I'm pretty excited. Hopefully I will never have to test these out again, because I got lucky last time. Just kind of, take the alcohol wipes to the general area. I go a little bit bigger just because then you're just going to want to wipe the inside. That way it's kind of clean, free of any chemicals or anything. That way you get a good bond when you stick it on there. The next things I did order in the mail though are pretty dope in my opinion. I've been contemplating getting them for a while. I wanted to show you guys this first because it is pretty easy, but I do have to let it sit for 24 hours before I go riding, just to make sure it stays all on there properly. There we go, done. Give it a little, dry it off a little bit. So honestly, this is pretty simple. We're just going to put a bunch of this sealant all on the inside. We don't want to go too close to the edge because we're going to want to squish this on really well. And we don't want it to like kind of ooze out, you know what I mean? But be generous. Don't be stingy. And if any comes out and if any of it does leak out of the edges, clean it up immediately. It's going to be a bitch to get off. It is seriously going to be a nightmare to get off once it starts hardening. All right. So I got a decent amount. It's kind of blobbed in there. I don't know if you can see quite a bit. Kind of afraid to go too close to the edges. A little afraid. All right. So make sure I got my tape. And you just want to line it up relatively decent where you know it's gonna go exactly. And just push as hard as you can to get a lot of the air bubbles out, as many air bubbles as you can. Beautiful. So I think that looks real nice. Now once we've done all that, then we can just tape it. And all we're doing is to ensure that it stays nice and tight on there. I'm just going to use masking tape because you know what? That's not going to fuck anything up. It normally doesn't. Alright, so we're just going to tape this up real good. Oh, I do have a little bit. Do you see what I'm going through with this tape? Fucking nightmare. What a fucking nightmare this tape is. So now I've done the one side. I'm going to go ahead and do the other side real quick. Same thing, I've already cleaned it. I've already cleaned both sides. So I can just go ahead and basically liberate. I'm going to try and use a little bit less than what I did last time. Last time was just, it was a lot. It was a lot. I'm going to spread it properly. And we'll see how that goes. Once we're got this one on here, then I'll show you guys how it looks in a better manner. So the exact same thing. Push as hard as you can. That way it fits real nice. Gets all the air bubbles out. That way you get a nice, good, solid seal. Yeah, that definitely worked out a lot better. Before I tape this one up, I'll give you guys a solid look. But you definitely want to make sure you push as hard as you can on it, just to make sure that you can clean all of the stuff that oozes out of the sides, the creases and stuff, and get all those air bubbles. So here, I'll show you guys what it looks like a good. So that's them. These are the carbon fiber tank sliders. I think they look pretty dope, to be honest, and functional. Nobody wants a damaged tank, but they do look dope. Like how it is there, Aprilia Racing. Very nice. That way, if anything, if it ever falls, it's going to hit this and damage this, and you can always replace that. It's not a big deal. It is what it is, a lot cheaper than replacing a tank, that's for sure. That's it. I think it looks good. Pretty badass in my opinion. Those are dope. Those are definitely, I think, a must-have if you've got an Aprilia Tuono or an RSV4. But yeah, these are definitely a must. At first, I kind of thought they were like stupid or whatever, but once I seen people have them, I realized how good they were and how much they actually do help. Definitely a must-have. So once these are all cured and stuff like that, I'll give you guys a good look of the bike, but I can't ride this for 24 hours just to let these cure and make sure that they're solid on there. I did get these from af1racing.com. I will have the link for these in the description of my video. Really, hopefully I don't have to ever use them, and I can just keep them looking pretty, but you never know. That's the point of them. If there wasn't a risk of me damaging my tank from a tip over or anything like that, I could just be going in to get a coffee or something, then I probably wouldn't give a shit. But when I did drop my bike, I realized how lucky I got when this part did actually hit the ground. Obviously slowly, and it didn't scratch. If that was in any other circumstance, I've seen people drop it in less and get a lot of damage. So these are definitely a must-have. They are Rng Racing Tank Sliders. They do make tail sliders as well. So I don't know if I'm going to get the tail sliders. I probably will eventually, and I'm definitely going to get some frame sliders and probably a carbon fiber swing arm protector, just make sure if I do have a tip over or a low slide or anything, my exhaust doesn't slam against my swing arm and dent it or damage it, because swing arms are a pretty penny to replace. But that's it. That's all I got to share with you guys today. It's getting a little dark out, so that's probably why the lighting wasn't as good. But I'll show you another quick look at these, but absolutely fits fantastic. So that's this side here. You can see, oh, there, I got that taped on. I haven't taped the other side yet, but oh, and there's my snowblower. I still haven't put it away since winter. But, and then this, so I'm gonna tape that up and it should be good. Pretty badass. And I am using a new chain lube. I will give a review of that one and tell you what I'm using when I actually get to it. I want to make sure I get on a couple rides and stuff like that to see how it is. And now it wasn't that modal was like absolute crap or nothing, but for road bikes and you're trying to keep it clean, so you're looking for, you know, as little friction as possible and as little fling as possible. You don't want to be cleaning your road bike all the time. I wasn't happy with modal. So this new stuff I'm trying out, we'll see how it goes. But pretty happy with these. Looking pretty badass. It's gonna look better obviously when there's no tape on it and stuff. So you guys have a good one. Take care, and I do have a few more goodies to install on this. Not just little carbon fiber tank sliders, but I got something pretty dope. I'm excited about it. So you guys have a good one. Ride safe. We're gonna get riding on this bitch real soon. Don't forget, June 1st, there is the drag race I'm going to. But the downside is it is looking like a real fucking shitty weekend. Both June 1st and June 2nd are calling for a whole bunch of rain. So we'll see how that goes. It is what it is, right? But you guys have a good one. Take care. Peace.